السلام علیکم، ویلکم ٹو اندر ایپیسوڈ۔ آج کا ہمارا ایپیسوڈ جو ہوگا وہ اولمپکس میں جو ارشد ندیم کی وکٹری ہے اس کے بارے میں ہوگا۔ چند دن پہلے ارشد ندیم نے 92.97 میٹر کی تھرو پھینک کر ایک ریکارڈ قائم کیا۔ نہ صرف ہسٹری آف اولمپکس میں ریکارڈ قائم کیا بلکہ پاکستان کو بھی پہلا انڈیویجول گولڈ میڈل اور 40 سال بعد گولڈ میڈل بھی دیا۔ تو سب سے انٹرسٹنگ چیز جو اس میں تھی وہ انڈینز کا ریئیکشن تھا۔ جو انڈین میڈیا اکثر جو ہے وہ بہت پازیٹیو نہیں ہوتا پاکستان کے بارے میں، تو ان کا ریئیکشن بھی کافی اچھا دیکھنے کو ملا، لوگوں کا ریئیکشن کافی اچھا دیکھنے کو ملا۔ اور اس کی سب سے بڑی وجہ جو تھی وہ وہاں سے اس کی شروعات ہوئی کہ جب نیرج چوپڑا جو کہ ارشد ندیم کے رائیول تھے، ان کی مدر نے ایک اپنی اسٹیٹمنٹ دی کہ وہ بھی ہمارا ہی بیٹا ہے، ارشد ندیم بھی ہمارا ہی بیٹا ہے، یعنی کہ وہ ہمارے جیسا ہی ہے۔ ویسے تو سارے لوگ برابر ہیں دنیا میں، افریقن ہوں، گورے ہوں، براؤن ہوں، لیکن جب ہم درجہ بندی کرتے ہیں لوگوں کے درمیان تو کچھ لوگ ہمیں نزدیکی ہوتے ہیں۔ اس سینس میں انہوں نے کہا کہ یہ بھی ہمارا ہی بچہ ہے۔ تو اس کے بعد جو ہے کافی اچھا رسپانس انڈینز کا، اس دفعہ ہم کہہ سکتے ہیں جو انڈیا کے لوگ ہیں ان کا اچھا رسپانس دیکھنے کو ملا ہے۔ تو ہمارے ساتھ اب آج موجود ہوں گے رنجی راج، جو کہ انڈیا سے بلانگ کرتے ہیں، کیرلا سے، اینڈ ہی از لیونگ ان یو ایس اے، اور وہ ایک پروگرام مینیجر ہیں۔ تو ان سے آج ہم بات کریں گے۔ ہائی رنجی، ہاؤ آر یو؟
Good. How are you? Nice to meet you.
My question to you is, as an Indian, how did you initially feel about Neeraj Chopra's mother positive remarks about Arshad Nadeem's victory? In your opinion, what impact do such gestures have on the relationship between India and Pakistan?
Yeah, obviously, her statement exemplifies sportsman spirit and mutual respect that transcend beyond political boundaries, right? Definitely that gestures promote goodwill, reflecting a kind of a shared value and honor and admiration between beyond the political borders. So she exhibited that kind of that care, especially when it comes to Arshad and Neeraj Chopra. They started competing each other since 2016, I guess, in SARC sports, as well as in Asian Games, and I think 2 times or 3 times in Olympics as well. So they have this like a competition all along since 2016. What we can see is that all the time Neeraj Chopra was winning or coming at the first place, but Arshad was always like on the second place or behind him, and from usually, like obviously there is a kind of a sense that okay, there is a sports rivalry between Pakistan and India. Obviously, that is there in cricket, that was there in hockey, especially when Pakistan was doing very well in hockey, and all those days. I think the last Olympics gold was also from hockey, right? That's my understanding. So, whereas when we look at this, we can't even look at like a rivalry rather than a kind of a mutual
Traditional
friendship.
rivals, we commonly say.
Yeah.
Traditional
When it comes to cricket, it's a traditional rivalry, but it's with a sportsman spirit. Even when I say traditional rivalry, like cricketers like especially when I was young in school, and Imran Khan, Wasim Akram, Bakar Yunus, Javed Miandad, all these folks are being celebrated. Ramesh Raja, all these Shahid Afridi, and those days youngsters like Insamam Hul, all these guys were celebrated in India. Even though when they come to the batting field, we always look at with like a fear, oh my God, what is going to happen? And all. But at the same time, we love to see them batting, fielding, bowling, and all. So India and Pakistan had that kind of like a sportsman spirit, and even though certain occasions or certain times there were like rivalries, but at the same time, what I can see or what I experienced myself was like a thorough enjoyment of that sports and sportsman spirit. And now it comes to Neeraj Chopra and Arshad. they always, beyond, I never saw it like a rivalry rather than a kind of a close friendship. They're supporting each other. Especially recently, what I heard is that Arshad had some challenge with his javelin and all, and he couldn't get proper support from Pakistan government. I'm not sure. Probably you guys know about it. Then Neeraj Chopra publicly voiced against it. I mean, voiced for his support, voiced for support from the Pakistan government and all. So, like as I mentioned, that since 2016 they are competing each other. Finally, that competition, not only like their mutual friendship, support each other, yielded good result. That's how I look at it. Rather than who won who got the gold medal or who got the silver medal. That is exactly what that kind of reflection got from his mother also.
So, as you know, we are same, but divided by some borders. Not only the borders, but the heavy investment on the unfortunately producing hate, and their God is not true, and our God is good, and these kind of I would say stupid things. So, as we were same. How do you take the phrase Neeraj Chopra's mother said that he was our son too? I mean, the Arshad was our son too. So, as a common Indian, how do you feel if a guy from America or UK have won, or a Pakistani? How do you differentiate?
Yeah, so basically, let me tell you frankly, like when I was in India, I was in India, never been outside. So obviously, I was more a kind of like looking at Pakistan in a more kind of manner, because obviously the media, politicians, they have their own vested interests. So they always promote that kind of image, whether it is war happened in the past, whether it's like communal element, or whether it is terrorism. Pakistan was always demonized. You know that even in the Bollywood films and all. So I had obviously that kind of impression, but my uncles, they used to work in Gulf countries and all, and they used to come and tell me that they have a lot of Pakistani friends. It's not like what medias and politicians are promoting. They are very friendly with Pakistanis. They support each other and all.
Yeah.
When I came to USA in 98, and then I also got, I'm not surprised because I know about it. I heard about it, and when I came to USA, my experience was also same. I'm here in USA when I like meet with Pakistans or go to the Pakistan restaurants, or having mingled with Pakistanis. I haven't found any kind of like rivalry or a kind of issue, kind of a communal hatred, rather than having that kind of a sense of.
As you talked about
both from.
As you talked about Gulf countries, so my mind changed when I was in the Saudi Arabia, and the Arab guys at different places, they asked me, "Are you Indian or Pakistani?"
Yeah.
I thought even if they are not recognizing us, whether I'm Indian or Pakistani, and we are very strange people distancing us from each other.
Yeah,
so
obviously.
that is very unfortunate.
Obviously,
So,
yeah, please go ahead.
My second question is, our mainstream media is always not playing good role in fostering harmony or friendship between India and Pakistan. But in this case, I saw that the Indian media and the Pakistani also. In this case, the Indian media, because Pakistani athlete was born. So Indian media was very positive about that. How can social media be effectively used to bridge the gap between the people of India and Pakistan, promoting positivity and mutual respect? What do you think?
In fact, in around 2010, I guess January 2010, there was a program called Aman Ki Asha. That was a kind of association between Times of India and JEG Group of news.
Yeah, Jung Group. Geo News.
Right? Yeah, Jung Group of.
Jung and Geo.
Yeah. So these media group came together and they conducted media collaboration, public event, cultural exchange. That was going very well, actually. In fact, that yielded a lot of good result, actually. I mean, obviously, that time social media wasn't this much popular at that time. Right now, to your question, obviously, we don't have to. Now, people are not fully depending on medias, right? Obviously, media
Yeah.
play an important role, but at the same time, social media play a lot of influence among people. I mean, even if you look at Arshad Nadeem case, what I have seen is that when I opened up Indian social media, my friends and all their social media feeds, what I have seen is that a lot of people are, appreciating him, supporting him, especially because he
Yeah.
was a humble
Yes,
background. Even though the fact that he kind of defeated Neeraj Chopra and gained the gold. In fact, tell you the fact that even in the last Olympics, I was watching them, and I know that one day Arshad is going to defeat him, because obviously, if you look at Neeraj Chopra, he's like an average built guy, but Arshad Nadeem is like physically, he's like look-wise
Height.
and his height, and also he has little upper hand in physique-wise. And I was expecting this outcome. I think even among Indians, they are expecting it. On top of that, his humble background, a guy from a humble background without anyone's support. Obviously, I think Neeraj Chopra played an important role, because he started it from his own humble background. Even though he got better support than Arshad, he started it, and it gave a motivation to even Arshad Nadeem. The same way, what I'm saying is that there was a program called Aman Ki Asha, but later that got a kind of stop, I believe. There is no more, because of the politics that happened in Pakistan, that political transition that happened in India also. I think that stopped, and no more that kind of exchange of cultural programs, events, and all. But that is something, that is an area where social media can play a lot of role, because as you mentioned, that when you go to in front of a white guy or an African guy or an Arab guy, they look at like a brown-skinned people, right? We all look like
Yeah.
same. Here and
As
there,
I
little bit difference.
as I gave you example of Saudi Arabia, we
Yes.
are very careful about Saudi Arabia, and very
Yes.
it's our religion. That's a different thing. But if Saudi Arabian cannot recognize us, whether we are Indian or Pakistanis, so what action can ordinary citizen in both countries
So I
to help
that
reduce tension and foster sense of shared humanity?
I
What
believe
do you
that
think?
now with Neeraj Chopra and Arshad Nadeem, what I see is that sports is definitely always a connecting factor between Indians, Pakistan, and South Asian country. If you look at it, Afghanistan was nowhere in cricket, right?
Yeah.
Came to India, Indian cricketers provided all sort of, including dedicated stadium for them. They gave them, the top players from India gave them the training. Now look at where they are. They are like all of a sudden they became like one of the top cricket team in India. There was a kind of a doubt between Afghani people and Indians. Right now, if you look at the cricket, Indians provide a lot of support there. So the same way, like what we see with Arshad and Neeraj Chopra, they supported each other. Neeraj Chopra came public to support Arshad Nadeem to get better sporting facility and javelin and roll. The similar way, what I see is that there are a lot of areas that we can collaborate each other. I think social media is the way to start with, because politicians, they have their own vested interest, whether it is, people need to learn things. What I see is that religion, everyone can have their own religion, but
Yeah.
try to learn, understand each religion. There was this saint in Kerala. Once he said that when there was a challenge for love, Christianity came in, Jesus came up because he preached love. When in especially in Arabian places, there was a lot of rivalry and fighting each other among the brothers. Muhammad Nabi came with
some power was needed to unite them.
Yeah, united them. So he came out with the message of brotherlyhood. That is how Islam came to exist, right? The same way this saint in Kerala was saying that now we need to focus on the betterment of humankind, right? Focus on humankind. You can have different political boundaries. You can have different religious thought process, but as you mentioned, that we all look the same, and we all originated from Indus Valley civilization. We have to understand that our base, I think around 60 to 120,000 years ago. Still, there is a debate whether it is 60,000 or 120,000 years ago. First time the modern man, human, came out of Africa, and they came and first settled in Indus Valley. That is where we all flourished. That is where this gene pool came to exist, actually. So we are same people. Unfortunately, due to politics and religious kind of sentiments, we are unnecessarily fighting each other, and that causing us a lot of trouble. If you look at the areas like, sports obviously is an area like, we can work together. We are working together. As I mentioned that cricket, hockey, that helped us to grow bigger. Now look at that. Arshad Najim set a role model. Now people in India and Pakistan, they realize the fact that the youngsters realize the fact that we can win these Olympics gold medal, right? With a limited resource and support and all. So that's a great thing. Obviously, there are other areas like, look at the trade opportunities and potential in trade, commerce, and all, right? If you look at Bangladesh, Bangladesh now became one of the world textile hub next to China, right? And Bangladesh get cotton from India. They don't have cotton because Bangladesh is a small country, right? They don't produce enough cotton. They get cotton from India. The similar way, there are a lot of ways India and Pakistan can.
That was my next question. Actually, we can. It's an example like if you and me are two brothers, and we produced annuity between us, and we both have $1,000 salaries, and we hire $500 for one security guard and $500 for other security guard, and we are unnecessarily spending on that security guards. Actually, we can enhance our quality of life, buying better clothes, better food for our children. And this is in the individual term, as I told you the example of two brothers. But in the country, we can do trade with each other, easier trade, and enhance the quality of life of the citizens.
Social media is definitely an area where people need to focus. Because we are not under the restriction of any media house. Because every media house have their own motivations, their own personal interest, and all those things will be there. Politicians, obviously, like if you look at Indian politicians, like if you look at BJP, is promoting like Hindutva politics. If you look at Pakistan, you can see a lot of Islamic politics and sentiments are being promoted there. Promoted there. And in between, in Pakistan, what I can see is that army is exploiting the situation because the politicians are not coming together. These are not helping people. I mean, what we need to do is that, say, for example, recently Pakistan had heavy flood and all, right? There was I forgot the exact name for that. There was a water resource agreement between China, Cambodia, Vietnam, and all that helped them a lot, actually. The similar way, India and Pakistan can have a joint water resource management, how to manage water resources. How can we produce energy from it? How can we implement various technologies so that we can avoid flood incident, sharing technology. I mean, India is obviously advancing.
I was watching one video on the internet a few days ago. One guy was saying that he was sitting on the chair and drinking something, and he said,
2 legs of my chair are in USA and 2 are in Canada.
I mean, that was the border.
Okay.
So look at our borders.
Yes.
Look at our quality of life and theirs. So that is, I mean,
Yeah,
prominent difference.
there are many such examples actually. I mean, if you look at the World War time, France and Germany were like real enemies. They fought each other.
Yeah.
They had a big war and all. But thereafter, what is happening today?
India and Pakistan are nothing like that.
Nothing
In that
like
comparison.
Yeah, nothing like that. They came together. They became the part of European Union, even to produce, like aircraft. One part of the aircraft is made in UK, one part is made in France, one part is made in Germany. Look at the way they are cooperating each other, and look at the way people can move each other freely, find, their livelihood. Many things there. They share, I think even electricity production, energy production, they have a lot of shared ventures and all. The similar way, like if these like politicians, if they truly look into the opportunities, like that Bollywood movies are being very popular in Pakistan, culture is same, the clothing, a lot of things are same actually. So imagine by having this unnecessary feud and fight and wars, we are not truly gaining anything, rather than we are losing things. Like, the trend can improve. It not only, I mean, obviously India is doing well, but at the same time, because this Bangladesh, Pakistan, these are like hugely populated countries, so exchange of culture, exchange of commodities, supporting each other on agriculture, tourism. Look at the beauty of, like, Kashmir and the similar Kashmir region and the northern region of Pakistan. We don't need to go to Switzerland and all. We have the most beautiful place in the world. But unnecessarily, unfortunately, that tourism is not properly tapped in India and Pakistan. That is a sad.
Especially in Pakistan, because I know better about Pakistan. Because if someone comes here, he will be charged
Of blasphemy by the mob.
One of my friend, I think 2 years back, visited Pakistan, and then he was telling me that he immediately went and registered at the police station, because he was a bit fearful and told, what if he is considered as something, someone who came to, like do some bad stuff and all there. So that fear need to go away. Right? That fear need to go away. I mean, if you look at what was that Pakistani singer? He was big hit in India and all, and he's, I think, I'm not sure where he is living and all, but he was a big hit and all. So the Pakistani actors coming, the sportsmen come, even like, I thought that I was looking at Imran with a lot of, even I was talking about this too, Assad also, because Imran is very much celebrated in India, even though he was considered as a rival cricketer, star and captain and all. Imran Khan, we used to love him, because not only his personality, his charisma, not only that, the way he played cricket and all. So I had a lot of positive thoughts towards him, and I had a lot of expectation towards him. Unfortunately, he is now in jail. I don't want to talk about the political situation because I don't know about it, but I thought that he could bridge gap between India and Pakistan a lot, but unfortunately he is no longer at the helm. That's a bad thing, but hopefully the people, whoever at the helm, they will focus on, and also the mining and, like, Himalayan salt. It comes from Pakistan. I mean, I think India, and also these are the areas, like, when it comes to mining, I don't think we explore mining properly. When it comes to agriculture,
there are many opportunities.
Many opportunities are there. Unfortunately, based on this petty, silly matters, same look, like, if, as you mentioned, that if we walk on the street of New York, you and me walk on the street of New York, they couldn't recognize us between Pakistani or Indian. They will look at like either Indian or a Pakistani.
Yeah.
So
So best example was about the Saudi Arabians. So
yes,
I, from the childhood, I was listening that the Saudi Arabians are very holy people. They're all holy. So the Indians are enemy. They are very, if you go there, they will kill you for no reason.
yes.
I was watching PTV, unfortunately. That is improved till now. But at that time, people were not very educated and they watch PTV, Pakistan TV, and they believe. So I was a kid and I believed that Indian will kill us, and Saudi Arabia, so Saudi people are very holy people. So when I go there, they continuously ask me, "You are Pakistani or Indian?" And
Yeah.
asking to an Indian, "You are Indian and Pakistani?"
Yeah,
So
just for
yeah,
example, like if you go to a Emirati or a Saudi, if he's not going to give any special, I mean, maybe he might have some religious Muslim sentiments, but I don't think he gives any. They always keep that superiority complex, right? They say that they are Arabs, they are better than us. They look at like either Pakistani or Indians. So what I'm saying is that why are we fighting each other? It doesn't make sense. I was talking about there was a agreement called Mekong River Commission. This river commission include like Cambodia, Laos, Thailand, Vietnam, China, and Myanmar. This made a lot of development in that country. Not only the strategy in managing the water, they also had like, joint effort they implemented to manage the flood, early warning system. And also they facilitated data sharing between each country, which helped them not only in managing the flood, but also in the agriculture. These are the things that India and Pakistan can work together. And I don't know why people are not looking into that and unnecessarily looking into the border. Yes, the border, there were dispute and now there is a border. There is still a dispute, but we can...
there are states we can...
Yeah, what is there right now and work on it rather than looking at, especially in India, if you look at it, India is the second largest Muslim country in the world after Indonesia. So, so you can't just ignore a Muslim community in India. That's what I say, that people like, outside, they believe that, BJP come to power, no longer Muslims have any kind of role in India and all. Yes, there are like, obviously, BJP has certain politics and certain propaganda. But at the same time, if you look at cricketers, lot of personalities, whoever have that abilities, their own peculiarities, their own, they are being recognized in India. If you look at Mohammad Asruddin and many other, like, Mohammad Shami, right now, the cricketer, a lot of them are from Muslim community. India can't ignore Muslims because India is supposed to be the second largest Muslim country in the world. So, unfortunately, wrong kind of message is going outside India. This need to be stopped, whether it is in Pakistan or India, and have that brotherhood and go.
It's very much controlled till now because people are getting awareness from internet. As previously I told you, people were watching PTV and they are very, very stick to that ideology they are producing. But when private media organizations came to on surface, like 2001 or 2, so people's behavior changed a little bit. But at this time, the social media is changing everything. I think we can see hope of positivity for both people, because it's about the people. It's not about the state. They are just few people. They cannot decide our future like Molvis or something.
Yeah, people
Let's hope for the best.
Yeah, because science is getting more prominence now. Religion. You need religion. Sometimes you may end up being like alone, and sometimes you need you need to believe in some power, divine power and all. That is good.
That was necessary for that time.
That time. But
Yeah,
when it comes to, like you, as I mentioned, that you have to look at Germany and France. What happened after World War II? You have to look at USA and Vietnam. I mean, Vietnam, where USA
No,
bought.
yeah, that was,
Now, if I go to the supermarket aisle in USA, most of the agriculture products are coming from Vietnam, and the USA has a good cooperation and a connection and a diplomatic relation with Vietnam. Same with South Korea and Japan. They had a big historical tension between them. Now South Korea and Japan has engaged in cooperative ventures, in trade, cultural exchange, which has totally transformed the relationship. Japanese go there, South Koreans come to, they like each other. Like especially South Korean media is popular, so they watch a lot of South Korean medias and all. They have that harmony there. So this need to transcend, and this need to go to the people's mind, and that need to be promoted through the social media rather than sticking to this political vendetta and the political, like a kind of narrow-mindedness. That need to be go away. That's why sports, culture, and all these things, they have to look at the future. These religious sentiments won't help us. Rather than we need religion, we need divine power.
Religion is for individual purpose, for making connection with God or divine power, because we believe that there is a cosmic there is a divine power who make cosmic justice, and we believe in our religion. Other person believe in other religion, maybe they name their God differently in their language. So these are the religion for the individual connection with the divine power. So
And
we
look
have made it politics. So
Yes,
religious politics.
And one more point I want to make is that if you look at Christianity, even though Jesus is considered as like their prophet, they pray to Father. That's a divine power they have in divine. The same way, even though Muhammad is considered as a prophet, Allah is top. There is no definition for Allah. And the same way in Hinduism, Brahman is considered as the top zenith power, which is not defined. So what it means that whether you might have prophet like Jesus, Muhammad Nabi, or like Krishna, but there is ultimate power beyond that, which is not defined by any religion. That means that we all are praying towards one divine power.
There is just a power. He doesn't have name, he doesn't have some characteristics like when we imagine God, we say there would be a beard man or something. So it's just a power. He has different names in different languages.
If those ultimate power is same, then why the hell we are being fighting each other? At all. So that's
even if he is not same, we should not be fighting. But your point is good. So thank you so much for being with me. It was very, very interesting and useful conversation for me. So thank you so much.
I also thoroughly enjoyed the conversation. I mean, these kind of dialogues need to happen. This is how we can get to know each other and others also.
Thanks for watching this podcast. اصل میں جو بھی ڈفرینسز ہیں جو ہم نے انڈیا اور پاکستان کے بیچ میں یا پھر بارڈر کھینچنے کے بعد جو ہم نے لوگوں کے درمیان جو ڈفرینسز بنا دی ہیں وہ ہمارے بنائے ہوئے ہیں. تو جو باہر کی دنیا ہمیں دیکھتی ہے تو ان کے لیے ہم ایک ہی ہوتے ہیں. اکثر میں نے جیسے اپنے شو کے اندر یہ اگزامپل بھی دی کہ لوگ اکثر یہ کہہ بھی رہے ہوتے ہیں کہ آپ انڈین ہیں یا پاکستانی ہیں, تو لوگوں کو نہیں پتہ چلتا. لیکن ہم لوگ ہیں کہ ہم نظریات کی بنیاد پر کہ ہمارے دل کے اندر کیا ہے, تمہارے دل میں کیا ہے, اس بنیاد پر ہم لوگوں نے جو ڈفرینسز بنا دیے ہیں یہ کم ہوں گے تو ہم ترقی کر پائیں گے. ہم لوگوں کے اندر کچھ انسانیت اور ایک محبت کا جذبہ جاگے گا تو ہم ترقی بھی کر پائیں گے, ہماری کوالٹی آف لائف بھی بہتر ہو پائے گی, دفاعی بجٹ کی بجائے اپنی فلاح و بہبود پہ پیسے لگا رہے ہوں گے. تھینکس اگین فار واچنگ. اللہ حافظ.